Okay guys, it's the following day. I've let the glue set up for about 24 hours. Now I'm gonna remove all the clamps. This is gonna be my front when you're building a guitar, you need to be pretty wary of your center line. That's really important. So I wanna establish this center line really dead on. And the nice thing about these pot bin templates is the center line is already cut in, so you really can't mess it up. So now that I've got my center line established, I'm gonna go ahead and trace the body. And I'm just using a mechanical pencil. It's very important, this is a frozen mechanical pencil from the hit Disney movie. I found that they work a little better. Okay, there we go. So that looks good. So obviously all this area over here is gonna be my waist. So now I'm gonna go over to the bandsaw and cut off as much of the waist as I can. My bandsaw, I have a Laguna 1412 bandsaw, and it's got exactly 13 inch of resaw capacity, and a Telecaster body at its widest point is 12 3/4 of an inch. So it's gonna be pretty snug. So I really need to cut off as much of this as I can in order to be able to resaw this top effectively. So let's head over to the bandsaw. All right, so we're here at the bandsaw. First step is gonna be to cut off, as I said, this waste material here on the sides so that it can fit through vertically to go ahead and do the resaw. So you can see basically this right here is as high as it's gonna go. So that's right at about 13 inches of resaw capacity. So I'm gonna go ahead and lower it down so that I can cut the waist off. I don't obviously need the guides that high. The blade I'm using is the Laguna Resaw King, which is an absolutely phenomenal resawing blade. And I'm gonna be using that for cutting the waist too, just because it's already on it. Those are just gonna be straight cuts, so I'm not worried about that. I'm gonna lower this down, lock it into place. Then let's go ahead and cut this waist off. Okay, so hopefully you can see that I've kind of rough cut it to shape. I'm gonna go ahead and see, hopefully I won't be too high. I can already see that I'm not gonna be, so that's great. So now I can shave off a 1/4 inch off of the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and clear this waist and get set up for that. Okay, so I've set this up to resaw a 1/4 inch thick piece off of the top. I've made sure my table is square to the blade, and my fence is square to the table, and just set this using a little adjustable square here. I've set it to just a little bit over a 1/4 inch to account for the kerf of the saw blade, and that's looking really good. So now is the moment of truth, and I'm gonna go ahead and resaw this top. So make sure I orient it properly. Make sure that it's gonna slide through. As you can see, it slides through with just a teeny bit of room to go through, but it will go through. I'm gonna go ahead and get a push stick as well to help keep this cut a little safer. And I'm gonna put on my glasses and hearing protection. All right, let's do this. Okay, that went amazingly well. I mean, can you see how smooth that is? That's unbelievable. That's just a testament to this bandsaw, man. Totally clean cut at the max of its resaw capacity. amazing. It didn't even sound like it was struggling in the slightest. So that's absolutely incredible. So now let's go set up with the chambering template. Okay, so I've got the chambering template kind of positioned on the guitar where I want it. Mic includes a couple countersunk holes in the template for securing it to your guitar body, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. And these holes are in an area where the body is gonna be routed out anyway. Okay, now the template is firmly in place. Okay, so that's nice and solidly clamped into place there. So this is a plunge router that I'm going to be using. Okay, and I am using a white side pattern bit. This is a 1/2 inch cutting diameter, 3/4 inch length. So the bit has a little bearing right there that rides along the edge of the template and allows you to cut out the material based on the pattern. That's why this is called a pattern bit. I'm gonna go ahead and get my depth set properly. Pretty good. I wanna be able to just dive down and then ride up against the edge here. So we put on my safety gear and we'll get this going. So as you can see, using a router is a total mess. I need to go fairly deep into this. The back will be about 1/4 inch thick when all is said and done. So I'm gonna go ahead and vacuum this out real quick, see what my progress is. Okay, so you can see how clean that is, man. I am just amazed. You know, that just is a testament to these white side bits. These are made right down the road from me in Claremont, North Carolina, about 1 hour and 45 minutes away, and I've used their bits on a number of occasions, and I'm just always so impressed with them. I'm gonna basically just hog out the rest of this material, and we'll be back. All right, so as you can see, I've got all 3 chambers fully routed. I'm amazed at how relatively clean these pockets are. I had a teeny bit of tear out over here, but honestly, I think that's mostly from me, you know, zigzagging all around. And the next thing that I need to route out is the neck pocket. Well, so I made a bit of an error when routing the neck pocket. I routed it to depth without considering the depth of the top. So Gonna have to fix that. Gonna go ahead and clean up this cavity here. There's a couple little bit marks here, and again, this is gonna be able to be seen through the F-hole. Just gonna sand this, and then I'm gonna glue on this top, and then I'll deal with this neck pocket once the top is on and once I can really assess what depth I need that to be at. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of sanding here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and glue this top on. Okay, ready for the glue up. I'm just gonna apply a bead around here and, you know, all through these areas. And then obviously a bunch of glue here in the center. Once again, I'm gonna be using Type Bond 2. So let's get to it. Got my clamps laid out already. Now I like to just kind of wiggle things around and try to distribute a little bit more. And now is going to be the tricky part, which is going to be lining everything up. Okay, so now do you see why they say a woodworker can never have enough clamps? Well, neither can the luthier. So this is almost every clamp I own, and is as many as I think I can fit, but it does seem like we've got some really good glue squeeze out in the areas that I can see, and I've just tried to basically apply clamping force to the center here. With these two, apply clamping force along the edges, which are definitely the thinnest strips of clamping, and then also horizontally to keep the top from shifting around. Now I'm also going to add something heavy here just to try to keep that center down. Okay, so that's a 35-pound bumper plate for Olympic weightlifting. So hopefully that should be good enough. So I'm going to leave this again to dry overnight, and we'll come back tomorrow.